There is a huge challenge in the black community, and the challenge did not begin yesterday, last month, or last year. The challenge began, according to many black scholars, with forced busing and forced integration. Many thought that the cure for the lack of success in the black community in years past was because of segregation. Unfortunately, since segregation, when Brown versus Board was passed in 1954, we have produced some of the most underachieving, unintelligent, unsuccessful black people to ever walk the streets of the United States of America. The purpose of this video is not to cast aspersions against black people, white people, nor any other demographic, but it is to produce facts regarding how we got to this place. And it took a long time, but there was an article in 2016 in the National Review that discussed the M Street School, which opened in 1899 in the District of Columbia. There were 4 schools there at the time. 3 of them were white, and the M Street students tested higher than 2 of the white schools. Those graduates went on to Dartmouth, Yale, Amherst, Harvard, Columbia, and other successful or other well-renowned Ivy League schools and high-level schools across the country. And then there were all the black schools, that Hampton University, Howard University, Tuskegee University, where black kids went and performed quite well. The high school dropout rate in 1900 was 13%, and it would have been lower than that, but at 15, in some cases 16, kids could go to war. They would lie about their age, or they would go and do migrant farm working. Fast forward to last year, 2018, the high school dropout rate for blacks was 61%. Unfortunately, because of forced busing and integration, the black community has descended to a level never before in history. I grew up in South Carolina in the 60s and Kentucky in the 70s. My parents grew up in Alabama and South Carolina in the 30s. And in those times, there were over 100,000 black-owned businesses. As of last year, there were less than 10,000. The professionals that were produced by the universities in years past, physicians, engineers, scientists, artists, teachers, physicists, and now, although we have much more opportunity and we can go to school with white people, there is a total disconnect. Black on black crime is at the highest in history. Black unemployment is still high. 70% of black children are born to homes that are led by the mother. The high school dropout rate, as announced earlier, is very high. But in addition to that, college entry among black people is at the lowest in history. And then college completion is at the lowest. Even though we have Pell Grants, we have scholarships, we have student loans, there is still a huge challenge. Where do we go from here? Not backward, we move forward, but we need role models like we had at M Street School and Parker High School in Birmingham, Alabama, which was one of the largest populated schools at the time, that produced successful people. But there was discipline, there was structure, there were role models at Parker High School in Birmingham, Alabama. So hopefully we can embrace these facts and grow, because otherwise the black community will continue to be sent into ineptitude, and that's unacceptable. Our children deserve better. Thank you for listening, and thank you to the National Review for your great article.